team, I hope you're all well. Today we are going to start a new weekly reading vlog. I didn't do one last week, mostly because I didn't get a lot of reading done. Well, I got a bit done, but also I wasn't particularly well last week. I was fighting off a headache, and which then turned into a migraine by the weekend, and I just wasn't particularly well. So I didn't get a great deal of reading done. I was quite busy as well trying to get all our new stock for the shop, so which is exciting. The spring collection is on its way and I'm very, very excited. So I do have 2 books to focus on this week. The first is The Dragon Republic. I'm not any further into this than the last time I updated you, which would have been the last reading vlog, which was well over a week now. Normally I would DNF a book, well, not DNF it, but put it down and forget about it, hence the cursed books list, if it takes me over a week to get through. However, I refuse to do that with this book. The Burning God is on my TBR for March for Final Book Support Group, so I am going to finish this. I'm on page 349. So I do want to finish this week. And then the only other book that I'm reading right now is Things We Do in the Dark by Jennifer Hillier, which is a thriller, and I'm currently on page 236, so I don't have long to go with this at all. So I am hoping to finish this today and make some more progress in The Dragon Republic as well. This one is we're following kind of 2 different stories, but in the same timeline. In the first one, we are following Paris, who has been found stood next to her older husband, who is incredibly rich, with a razor blade, and he's dead in the bathtub. And his PA, Zoe, has basically told the police that Paris has done it. Now, I think it turns out that that is not the case. However, we're not sure exactly how it's happened, but Paris is obviously now under investigation for killing her husband. Then there is a... Then 25 years earlier, there is a woman called Ruby Reyes, known as the Ice Queen, who was convicted of a similar murder in a trial that was a media sensation and riveted the nation. Reyes knows who Paris really is, and when Reyes is unexpectedly granted an early release from prison, she threatens to expose all of Paris's secrets. So, left with no other choice, Paris is going to have to pay Reyes off, because it turns out this is not the first time that she has been in a situation like this. So all is going to come out in the wash, I think, and it's very intriguing and I'm having a good time. This has been split into parts. So the first part was basically following Paris with her husband and this whole murder thing. The second part kind of dived into this guy called Drew, who runs a podcast, basically looking into the death of his best friend. And I was so confused with what was going on until the end of that part, and I was like, how does this relate to Paris at all? Like, I'm really confused. And until the latter end of that part specifically, I had no clue what was going on and I was very confused, but it all came together very nicely and I'm intrigued to see how it's going to end now. So having a good time with this one. But yeah, if I pick up anything else, I will let you know later on in the week, but my main focus is to get through these 2. I would really like to finish both of these before the end of the month. However, tomorrow is not my usual working from home day for myself. I am going to be working for my dad's company tomorrow instead of working on Thursday, so that I can have Thursday, Friday at home focusing on YouTube, books and the shop. So tomorrow I won't have chance to read because I'll be staying at Andy's then tomorrow evening. So if I don't manage to finish this tomorrow, hopefully, or today, hopefully I'll get it finished Wednesday night, because I'm going to be doing public sprints for Final Book Support Group on Wednesday night, because it will be day 1 of Final Book Support Group. So I do need to get those scheduled as well, so everybody knows. So I am going to stick on Things We Do in the Dark and get through this first, and stick some return labels on envelopes that have come this morning, ready for the restock of the spring collection. It's not a restock of the spring collection, it's a stock of the new spring collection, which myself and Jade are very excited about, because this is going to be our biggest drop to date and we have a load of new items, and I'm really hyped. I'm very excited. So yeah, So I'm going to get on, get Things We Do in the Dark done, and then move on to the Dragon Republic and hopefully make a decent dent in that as well. And I will catch up with you probably when I've finished Things We Do in the Dark. I don't think I have too long left of the audio, so it shouldn't take me too much longer. An hour and 36. So I should finish that pretty soon. It's only 12 o'clock, so yeah. I should be able to make a decent dent then into the Dragon Republic. I don't know how long I've got left of that either. 4 hours and 26. So I could finish it today if I properly got my head down and focused, but whether or not that's going to happen I don't know, because I'm coming off the back end of a migraine and I don't want to trigger it again. Managed to trigger it yesterday, but yet again, because it was on Saturday when I had it, and I managed to trigger it again yesterday evening. So I'm trying my very hardest not to trigger that again. Also, Andy's had a really bad chest infection and has now managed to give it to me, which I completely adore him for and I'm incredibly grateful. So not impressed. I do have some cough medicine, and hopefully I'm gonna be able to clear this quicker than he will, because he refuses to take medicine because he's a man. So I'm gonna get on with what I've got to do, and I will check back in with you when I've got an update for you. That racket is my kettle. I'm about to make some super noodles for my tea. It's 5:30. I'm not really in the mood to eat anything really big. I'm not that hungry. I feel so unwell. My chest is absolutely killing. Like, I can feel myself breathing in and breathing out. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. I can just feel it here, and I can hear it as well. So yeah, I don't feel particularly well. I anticipate an early night this evening, but I wanted to come on and give you a reading update because I have managed to finish a book and make some progress in another one. So Things We Do in the Dark by Jennifer Hillier, I have finished. I've given this 4 stars, 4.5 if I gave half stars, but 4 on Goodreads. I really enjoyed this. It was very good. I think there were lots of different things going on. And Paris has seen some shit in her life, let me tell you. She has dealt with some shit. She got dealt a really bad card in the life game, the parenting game, etc. And she managed to turn it around, and you know, I was rooting for her, 100% rooting for her, and this was really, really good. I just liked the way it was compiled, the way it was all brought together with the 2 different timelines and stuff. Although they weren't necessarily different timelines, they were, but it's just like almost, well, it is flashbacks back to 25 years ago to explain exactly what had happened and how we got in the situation that we are in current day. It was really interesting, and I liked the introduction of the other characters as well and how they played big parts in this. And I thought it was really, really well done. A couple of twists and turns I didn't necessarily see coming, which was great. And I just really enjoyed it. Really liked the writing style. Definitely pick up from Jennifer Hillier again. This is the first time I've read from her. So really enjoyed the writing style. Really enjoyed the twists and turns and the whole story. In general, so 4.5 stars for that. And then the Dragon Republic, I've taken the dust jacket off because I don't read my books with my dust jackets. I have made some more progress in, so I'm now up to part 3, which is page 400, 449. So I've got just over 200 pages left to go. So progress is being made. Some surprising things have happened, and I'm really intrigued to see how this goes. I anticipated picking up the Burning God straight after this, and although the Burning God looks smaller than this, hang on, let me grab said book. Although the Burning God, oh, I was going to say it looks smaller than this, apparently the audiobook is the exact same length. Okay, fair. So there's 656 pages in Dragon Republic, 620 in the Burning God. So that's fair, understandable. So yeah, I may dive straight into this. I'm going to see how this ends first, as to whether or not I dive straight into that, or whether I give myself a couple of weeks to you know, pick up some less heavy stuff and then pick up Burning God. But I will let you know what my plans are. I can't stop thinking about my March TBR already, so I need to get my ass through this book before it becomes a cursed book, which I do not want to happen. I also forgot that I am partway through The Fact of a Body as well, which is a non-fiction book by Alexandria Mazano-Lezenvich. It is true crime. It's basically 2 crimes, 1 powerful true story, and I'm really enjoying it so far. It is, it's got a paedophile involved. A child has been murdered, there's a paedophile involved, and Alexandria is a law student, but she's asked to work on death row hearings for convicted murders and child molester Ricky Langley, who is obviously the guy that we're following as well. She finds herself thrust into a tangled story of his childhood. As she digs deeper and deeper into the case, she realizes that despite the vastly different circumstances, something in his story is unsettling, uncannily familiar. The Fact of a Body is both an enthralling memoir and a groundbreaking, heart-stopping investigation into how the law is personal, composed of individual stories and proof that arriving at the truth is more complicated and powerful than we could ever imagine. I'm currently 83 pages into this, up to part 2, which is Consequence, and I'm not sure how long part 3 is away, but I would like to continue on with this because I started this a hot minute ago. So I would like to carry on with it. This was supposed to be like my bedtime reading. I've just not been picking it up before I go to bed because I tend to watch a lot of true crime before I go to bed. Don't ask me to explain it because I cannot. Ladies, do you hear me? 202 is the next part. So I don't know, I might try and carry on with this for a little bit this evening. We'll see. I have just under 3 hours left of the audio of this as well. So yeah, those are now going to be my main focus for the rest of the week, and once I've finished the Dragon Republic, I will then pick up another book which will be off of my March TBR. Right now, I am thinking about trying to think of something that I know I can get through this week, just to give me a boost on my March TBR, because I've got a really busy weekend coming up. I'm going out on Saturday, daytime, day drinking for my friend's birthday. So we'll be out all of Saturday, and then Sunday is the first F1 for the year for 2023. It's the Bahrain Grand Prix, so I'll be watching that, but it's also Liverpool versus United as well. And my friend whose birthday we're going out for on Saturday is a United fan. He's also Andy's flatmate, and Andy is a Liverpool fan. So Sunday will be a sports day. And then Andy's off all of next week. So from Saturday right through till the following Sunday, he's off. And it's a pretty busy week next week as well. So I'm not that I'm spending all of my time with him. I'll be working Monday for myself. And then Tuesday I might spend the day with him. Wednesday, Thursday I'll be working for my dad. So yeah, and then he's got darts Thursday night with my brother, so he'll be going out boys night, and I'll have Thursday night at home until I go pick them up later on from Liverpool. It's a pretty busy couple of weeks, and I need to get ahead of myself with filming, which is what I'm going to do on Thursday. But other than that, I'm hoping that like Thursday night I might be able to host some Patreon sprints, fingers crossed, and then Friday I can focus on reading, hopefully, and maybe host some more live sprints for final book. So I'm thinking that I want to get through something pretty quick. Maybe. The audiobook doesn't come out till Wednesday. Also a possibility is this one, and both of them are final books, so as far as I know, up to date anyway. So that's what I'm potentially thinking for the rest of the week, but we're gonna see. I might be in the mood for something else. Let me just dump them there because I'll sort them out in a minute. But yeah, that's my quick, not very quick update on where I'm up to with my reading so far for today. So I'm gonna have these noodles. I'm gonna watch a bit more YouTube, I think, and then I'm gonna go up to bed because I feel like shit. I feel like shit. So I'm gonna do that, go up to bed, maybe read for a little bit more, and then probably watch some TV and try and get an early night, I think, as well. I might try and set an alarm. I'm so hungry. I might try and, I didn't think I was this hungry. It's kicking in, I'm so hungry. I might try and set an alarm for like 10, half 10 to go to sleep and see whether or not that will help me out. So I'm gonna go get some noodles and I will check back in with you when I've got another update for you. It's 10:40 on Wednesday evening and I'm currently live on sprints for Final Book Support Group to kick off Final Book Support Group. We are on our last sprint. We've been going for about 3 hours and 40 minutes and I wanted to come on and give you an update on my reading because I haven't done that for a day or so, a couple of days. So I have just finished A Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. I managed it, I made it. I mean, it's March, but it is what it is. And I've just finished this now and then deep dive straight into The Burning God. So I've just read the prologue of this. So I am going to carry on with this for the rest of the evening until we finish sprints. Well, we've got one last sprint left. But I really enjoyed this. This was very, very good and I had a good time with it. Very shocking moments all the way through the book, but mostly towards the end. And it wrapped up, well, it didn't wrap up obviously because it's not the final one, but it made me want to pick the next one up. I was going to pick up, I know I mentioned a couple of other books on Monday, but I was going to pick up Finlay Donovan Jumps the Gun just to complete my Feb TBR out, but I haven't done that. I'll pick that up later on in the month. But yeah, I've decided to go straight into The Burning God. I do apologise if my voice sounds a bit different. I have quite a bad chest infection. So I am going to continue on with The Burning God. I've given this one 5 stars. I loved it. It was great. And I'm really glad to be back in my fantasy era. So yeah, I'm going to carry on with The Burning God. I'm going to see how I'm feeling tomorrow. Tomorrow's supposed to be a filming day. And I've got like 3 videos that I need to film. They're not particularly long. One of them could be actually my haul. But I'm gonna see how I feel. If I can get at least one filmed for tomorrow evening, that would be great, but otherwise I think I'm just gonna see how I feel because today I feel shit. I'm not gonna lie, I feel really bad. So my brother sent me home early from work after I finished what I needed to get done for the day, because he didn't want me spreading it round. His wife's got tonsillitis at the moment, she's off work, so it was just, if they could get one more sick person out of the house, that would be great for them. So I went home early and I've been home since like 1, half 1. So yeah. And then having to wait for sprints till 7 was a bit of a pain, to be honest. I just wanted to go to bed, but I'm glad I've done them because I've managed to finish off The Dragon Republic. Kept myself awake through most of the night last night, and when Andy left for work at 6 o'clock this morning, I couldn't get back to sleep, so I stayed up for about an hour and 20 minutes reading. So I did manage to make some progress in this morning, and then I went back to sleep and then overslept for work. So haven't had a nap, so I'm hoping I sleep okay tonight, and then we'll see how I feel tomorrow as to whether or not I decide to film or whether I'm just going to spend the day reading. Because if I don't film, that's what I'm going to do tomorrow instead. I'm going to read. Whether or not I finish this tomorrow is another thing, because I currently have now 45 minutes left of this sprint. But the book is... Go away. The book is... Stop. 9 hours and 24 minutes long. That's sped up. So I don't know if I can sit for like 9 hours tomorrow and listen to this, but we'll see what I can manage and how far I can get. I mean, if I could get over halfway, I would feel great about that tomorrow. And then I will try and finish it off. Like, I could read some more on Friday and then try and finish it off next week. I've got a busy weekend, so I'm not going to get much chance to read this weekend, but I'll take it with me to Andy's regardless. We're out on Saturday in Manchester for pretty much all day, and then on Sunday is the F1. So if I get a chance to read Sunday morning before the F1 starts, that'd be great. And then Liverpool and United play after, well, during the F1, but the game will have continued when F1's finished. So probably be watching that because Andy's a Liverpool fan and Wayne is a United fan. So busy weekend. But obviously I want to, maybe tomorrow would be a good idea for a rest day so that I am okay for the weekend. I don't want to push myself too hard. Maybe I'll film one video, I don't know, we'll see how I feel, but I'll let you know tomorrow. But I'm diving into this, so I'm going to get going so I can actually get some reading done and make use of this last sprint, and I will let you know tomorrow how far I got into this and what my plans are for the day. Thursday. I am feeling worse. Feeling better than I was this morning, but I still feel like shit, and I feel like an elephant is stood on my chest. Not just someone, an elephant. I am making my way through the Burning Gods. We're going to have a reading day today. I'm actually going to go and get back in bed. It's 20 to 2. I've been up for about 2 hours, and I think I'm going to go and get back in bed. So that if I want a nap, I can, but otherwise I'm just going to read in bed. I just really want to be comfortable, to be honest. So I'm currently 110 pages into this one. I would really like to get about halfway through this today, if at all possible, but we're going to see. I have stuck a tab in here at part 3, but that is 385 pages in, so that's quite a ways in. Whether or not I get that far, I'm not sure, but I am going to continue with this, and I might break it up a little bit with Finlay Donovan Jumps the Gun. Throwing some stickers on the floor. Might break it up a little bit with Finlay Donovan Jumps the Gun and start this one as well. The audiobook for this is quite short. It's about 8 hours, 8.5 hours, 8 hours, 45 minutes, something like that. So it wouldn't take too long to get through this. I could smash this out today, but I do want to make progress in the Burning God. I don't want it to take me as long as it did the Dragon Republic. So I might dip in and out of both of those. I'm also thinking about picking up a graphic novel as well, maybe, and just breaking it up a little bit with that. I'm a little bit all over the place today, so I'm going to see how I feel, but I will keep you posted. I seem to have regained some of my voice this morning. My dad phoned, he was like, what's going on? And I was like, I've lost my voice. So yeah, I'm going to take my medicine, I'm going to take my books, I'm going to take my water, and I'm going to go and get in bed and get comfortable. My entire chest area, like round here and all up here, is really killing from coughing so much. So I'm just gonna chill in bed, I think. And I will give you an update when I've got one for you. been a hot minute since I updated you. For you, it's been probably maybe 30 seconds, I don't remember. But for me, it has been a long ass while. It's currently Saturday the 11th of March. This is going to be a 2-week vlog. I did get quite ill last week and I've been trying to catch up with myself this week, which is why I've been so busy and haven't had a chance to update you as far as the vlog is concerned. So I've just been playing catch up with myself, trying to organise myself and get my shit together as far as YouTube and the shop is concerned. We had the spring drop last night, went really well. It's still going well and it's been just a really busy couple of weeks. So today is Saturday and it's currently Pokethon gym day for Jade's Patreons, and I am taking part in that, and I thought I would give you an update on where I'm up to with my reading, because I've managed to get through a reasonable amount. Not loads, but a reasonable amount. So I did finish The Burning God by R.F. Kuang, which I was reading last time I updated you last week. I finished this on Thursday night I finished it because I did some Patreon sprints while Andy and Matt were at the darts. So I finished this on Thursday night, gave it 5 stars. It was so good. I really enjoyed it. I wasn't as shocked about the ending as I thought I was going to be, and I discussed this with Jade because we were doing sprints together for Patreon, and not Patreon, Final Book, and I did mention to her that I wasn't as shocked by the ending with this as I thought I was going to be. And I think it's just that it's going to go like, there's only really one way it can end. And it was kind of predictable on that basis. So, however, it's still got 5 stars. It's been a 5-star series for me and I've really loved it. And I cannot believe I've finally finished the series. So very happy with that. First final book done for the month, and also first book done for the month officially, because I actually have put the Dragon Republic into February as far as that's concerned. I did finish it on the 1st of March, but I read the majority of it in Feb. I do apologise if you can hear music, that's my neighbours next door. Then today I did read The Vanishing of Evelyn Jones by Phil Hicks, which is the final in this series for now. I don't know if this is the final in the series overall or if it's going to be completely the final in the series. It does say watch your backs for more spine-tingling adventures from Phil Hicks in the back, and it doesn't wrap up like it could be the final in the series. So I don't know if he's done it in such a way that it could finish off like that, or if he's planning on coming back to it soon, I'm not sure. But this series follows a young girl called Evelyn Jones. The first one is The Haunting of Evelyn Jones, second is The Bewitching. In the first one she's haunted by a ghost, in the second one she is mithered by a witch, and in this one her uncle has been missing for a long time. And her mum, her aunt and her friend Harold, who she meets in the first book, have gone to his house to basically pack it all up and put it on the market. But she's interested in trying to find out what's happened to her uncle, and she ends up finding herself in this very strange, bizarre world with fairies and other stuff. So it was very good. I enjoyed it. There was a very good atmosphere in here. There always is. I really enjoy the writing style. I really enjoy Evelyn and Harold and the adventures they find themselves on and the friends they pick up along the way. And I gave it 5 stars. Very good book. And this for Pokethon counted for, let me check, to read a final book, which is perfect. I don't know if it is the final in the series, but it's the final up to date. So there's that. Then I did start even Polar Bear Cafe Volume 1, which is a manga about this polar bear who runs a cafe near a zoo. His most frequented client is a panda who lives at the zoo, and there is also a penguin that we've met as well, and a couple of other characters. There's a llama in here, and it's meant to be like kind of cute and cozy, and I thought that's what was going on, but it is a little bit weird and I haven't been able to figure out fully how I feel about this yet. This polar bear really enjoys puns, but the way he does puns, I don't know if it's like a translation thing or what, but the way he does puns, I just don't find them that funny. I actually find it kind of weird. So I'm a little bit confused, but I'm currently 110 pages in. I'm here. So I'm going to finish that very soon, and this is for the prompt of a polar fantasy. I did check with Jane and she was all right with this one, despite the fact that it's not set in a polar setting. It's a polar bear running a cafe, so polar fantasy manga. And yesterday Was it yesterday or was it Thursday? Yesterday, I did finish A Good Day to Pie. No, I didn't. I started A Good Day to Pie by Misha Pop, which is the second in this series. And I'm currently on page 39. I'm not too far in. I'm not going to carry on with this one today, but I am doing Patreon sprints tomorrow, so I am hoping to finish it tomorrow. I want to get a shit ton of reading done this weekend. So today and tomorrow, and then on Monday, I am going to do another 12-hour reading vlog to try and get through some of this TBR. It's currently sitting there. I don't know if you can see it behind my sofa, and it's overwhelming. I'm incredibly overwhelmed. We're 11 days into the month and I've only finished 2 books, The Burning God and also Evelyn Jones, so I've got some stuff to do. I've got to sort myself out. This obviously wasn't on my TBR, but yeah, I did start A Good Day to Pie, which is a cozy mystery following a woman called Daisy who she doesn't run a cafe, she's a baker at a cafe. She runs it out of her truck, but she's also working in this cafe, and she basically bakes a little bit of magic into her pies, and she can kind of make people feel better about themselves if they need a little bit of comfort or if they need a little bit of confidence or whatever. She can bake little bits of stuff into people's pies and make them feel a bit better about themselves, but in doing that, the flip side of it, she can also bake bad stuff into pies, and she's actually a little bit of a vigilante, and she will kill people. Men that have been abusing their wives, other bad people in the area and stuff. And in this one, she ends up on a cooking show, and I'm really intrigued about it. So it's a little bit like Great British Bake Off, but in America, with a mystery element to it. So enjoying that one so far. So I'll be continuing on with that tomorrow, but my plans for the rest of the evening are to finish Polar Bear Cafe, and then I want to dive into Dark Waters by Catherine Arden, which is a middle grade horror. It's the 3rd one in this series. The final one is Empty Smiles, so maybe later on in the month I can get to that as well. But I want to pick this one up because for the Poké-athon, it actually counts for a book with a nighttime adventure / explore. And Jade did mention that there is a nighttime element to this one, and it's a quick read. It's not too long. I do enjoy these books. And it also counts for Readathons, which is another Patreon readathon that Jade's hosting with Cassidy throughout the year, where there's a colour for each month, and it's like dark green for this month, so it'll count for that as well, because none of the other books on my TBR are dark green. So I wanted to get this one on for this, and I do want to continue with it, and it will count for final book as continuation station, and especially if I get to Empty Smiles before the end of the month for final book. So it'll be another series boxed off, which is great. So I'm hoping to pick this one up. This one does follow Ollie, Coco and Brian, who are 3 young kids in the first one, which is Small Spaces. They end up coming across a scarecrow who is alive. In the second one, Dead Voices, is ghosts. In this one, it's to do with water, and I think there's going to be, is there mermaids or something, killer mermaids or something. Some monsters. I'm not sure fully, but I'll let you know when I finish reading it. So that's my plan for the rest of the day, is to read this and this. If I do get more time, I've got another book that I will pick up, but I don't want to let you know in case I'm not going to. So those are my plans for the rest of the day. Hopefully by the end of the day I'll be 4 books into the month, which would be great news. And then tomorrow 5. So yeah. Happy with the progress I'm making today. Haven't been happy with the progress I'm making in the month in general, but it's been a busy couple of months. Last week I was really poorly, starting off with the migraine the weekend before, and then going into the really chesty cough for the rest of the week. It just kind of went downhill from there. The Saturday that I went out to Manchester for my friend's birthday, I spent the whole day absolutely freezing. It was so cold in Manchester, and I ended up with really bad indigestion because I was so cold and I was coughing so much. I ended up with really bad indigestion, and it was a reasonable day. It was great to be out with my friends. It was nice to be somewhere different, but in general I didn't necessarily enjoy myself because I wasn't well at all. I was tucked up in bed by 10 o'clock. I mean, we went out at like 12:30, but I was tucked up in bed by 10 o'clock, wasn't drunk because I barely drank anything, and it was fine. But the rest of the weekend I spent in bed. Andy went out to go and watch the football. I watched the F1, and then I had a nap and stayed in bed. I didn't go and join him at the pub. And then the rest of the week has just been particularly busy trying to catch up with myself after being ill all last week. So those are my plans. I'm gonna go and get on it because my tea is in the oven and I'm really hungry, so I do want to get to that, and I want to finish Polar Bear Cafe so I can get on to Dark Waters. So I shall check back in with you when I've got another update for you. Hopefully a couple more updates will come now in a steady stream of consciousness, obviously, rather than the massive gaps I've been giving you for the last 2 weeks. And this will end up being a reasonable vlog. A girl can only hope. Okay, hey, it's a bit later on. It's currently 20 past 10 in the evening and I have a couple updates for you. So, once I finished the Vanishing of Evelyn Jones, combining Vanishing and Evelyn with Vaseline, I did pick up Polar Bear Cafe, which is the first volume. I don't know if I'm going to carry on and bother getting the second volume, I'm not going to lie. This was really bizarre. I just don't think I enjoyed it as much as I thought I was going to. I thought it was going to be super cutesy and dead cozy. It was just a little bit too strange for me. So I did give this one 3 stars, and this was for the Polar Fantasy prompts for Pokethon. And then I picked up Dark Waters by Catherine Arden, which I have explained what this is about. Basically, we're following the 3 kids. They go on a trip with a couple of the parents of the 3 kids, and they're trying to avoid a monster from the first book who's been stalking them kind of ever since and causing problems for them ever since. And they end up going out on this boat trip and things turn very, very sour very, very quickly, including the adults as well as the kids. So I'm kind of mad I don't have Empty Smiles, which is the last one in this series, because I would dive straight into that right now. I don't physically own it yet because the paperback isn't due out until August, which I'm a little bit gutted about. I honestly kind of don't want to own it because it terrifies me. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like clowns. If you've been here a while, you'll know this. I kind of don't want to physically own it, but it would be annoying not to have the final one in the series. So kind of wish I had it right now because I would dive straight into it, but it is what it is. There's not much I can do about it, unfortunately. But yeah, I gave this one 4 stars. Enjoyed it. Love being with these characters, love their stories. They're really, really good and perfect for readathons as well. So Dark Waters is done. So my next book that I'm going to pick up, we do still have like just over an hour and a half of the readathon left, so I'm going to pick up Solo Leveling Volume 1, and this is for the shiny prompt, something shiny on the cover. That can either be something that's foiled or something that would be shiny in person. So this guy's got a sword in his hand and I'm going to pick this one up. I know nothing about it. I've picked it up because of Jodie, and she really enjoys the series, so I thought I would give it a bash. I think this is kind of like maybe a D&D campaign type thing. I don't follow D&D, but if you've been with me a while, I do read the Adventure Zone graphic novels, which are D&D campaigns. So I think this is a similar sort of thing, just not D&D. It's kind of like a game type thing. I don't know. I'll let you know more once I'm into it. But yeah, I'm going to go because my battery's currently dying, to nobody's surprise. But I'm going to dive into this now.
World had more of your smile. What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Maybe the birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper the word. Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope.
Okay, good morning. It is now Sunday. The Pokeathon has finished and I managed to read 4 books, completing 5 prompts because one of the prompts was to spend some time with friends. And I went to watch the first half of the Liverpool game with Andy, Wayne and Chloe yesterday afternoon. So I spent some time with friends and then completed 4 books. So the first book that I did read was The Vanishing of Evelyn Jones by Phil Hicks, which I gave 5 stars. Then I did read Polar Bear Cafe, which I gave 3 stars. I did read Dark Waters by Catherine Arden, which I gave 4 stars, 4.5 if I gave half stars, I think, if I remember correctly. I will double check that and do a wrap up at the end of the vlog. Really enjoyed that one. Cannot wait to get the 4th book. And I've managed to get the audiobook, so I am going to listen to the audio, I think today, because I wanted to listen to it straight after this one, but there just wasn't enough time left of the readathon to do it, so I didn't bother starting it, and I will listen to that today, hopefully. And then I did get to Solo Leveling Volume 1, which I really enjoyed. I haven't run through Core Pile yet, but I reckon it's going to get a 4 or 4.5 star. It was very good, and I can't wait for the next one. I have ordered volumes 2 and 3 as well. So basically these people are hunters, and they go into campaigns and they do raids and stuff, and they generally come back out. However, in this one, our main character, who is called Jin Woo Sung, he is quite a low rated campaigner, hunter. He's deemed like the lowest of the low. He always ends up coming out hurt, even in the really easy raids and stuff, and he ends up going on this raid with 16 other people, and it turns out not to be the raid they thought it was going to be. It ends up being much harder than they thought it was going to be, and it just kind of goes from there, and it's very good. The world building in here is really good. Really like that it's in colour, and I just had a really good time with it. It was very intriguing, and I'm so intrigued to continue on with it and read more. I believe that this is a novel as well, so I may, when I've read these mangas, I may try the novels as well, but really enjoyed this one. Very good. So yeah, managed to complete 4 prompts for Pokethon, which was great, and also the Reader Hue prompt to get me a shiny was to read a book of this type of colour, dark green. So I've managed to complete that as well, which is fantastic, and I'm now 5 books into my month, which is awesome news. Feeling way better about that. So today's plan is to read A Good Day to Pie, as I mentioned yesterday, and then I might go into, if I've got time, I might go into Empty Smiles by Catherine Arden, which is book 4 in this series. And that is the final book as well, which is great news. So I can add it to my final book wrap up. So yeah, this TBR cart is still looking very dangerously busy, and I'm not happy about the situation. So we're going to see what I can do about that next week. But for today, we're going to be doing this and potentially Empty Smiles if I have chance to get to it. If not, I will put it on tomorrow's 12-hour TBR, I think. But yeah, that's the plan. So I'm going to go and get myself ready, because I'll be doing sprints in an hour and a half. I could do with eating something, and I'm probably going to settle in and start reading this before I start doing any sprints. That's pretty much it. I'm going to go. Okay, good morning. I am here to wrap this reading vlog up. It has been a 2-week reading vlog, so it looks like I got a fuck ton read. But it's been 2 weeks, which did encompass the back end of February as well. So let's very quickly go through what I read, and I will let you know my thoughts on A Good Day to Pie. So the first book that I did read during this 2-week reading vlog was Things We Do in the Dark by Jennifer Hillier. I didn't read this, I think I started it the week before in February and finished it on Monday before February ended on Tuesday. So I enjoyed this one. I gave it 4 stars if I remember correctly. I thought it was really good. I thought the story was fantastic and had a good time. Then I did finish The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. I did finish this on the 1st of March. However, I have put this down as finished in February because I basically read the majority of it in Feb. All I finished off in March was this little bit at the end. I say little bit, it's about 200 pages there. But I read the majority of it in Feb, so I have put this down as a Feb read. 5 stars, love this series, absolutely fantastic. I then dived straight into The Burning God by R.F. Kuang, which is the final in the Poppy War series, and I gave this one 5 star. Amazing series, 5-star series overall, and that is the first final book I finished in March for Final Book Support Group. Then I did read The Vanishing of Evelyn Jones by Phil Hicks, which is the second final book I finished for Final Book Support Group. I think this is the final one in the series, but there is opportunity for him to do more, so whether or not he actually does so, I don't know. but I gave this one 5-star. Love that series, absolutely fantastic, perfect spooky middle grade series, especially for spooky season as well. I read The Polar Bear Cafe volume 1. I don't think I'll be continuing with this series. This was a little bit too bizarre for me, but it did get a low 3-star, so there is that. I will be unhauling that, I think. Then I did read Dark Waters by Catherine Arden, which is the 3rd in this series. I am hoping to get to Empty Smiles very, very soon, which is the final one in this series. I gave this one 4 stars. I think it was a low 4-star, but it was a 4-star nonetheless. I did read Solo Leveling Volume 1, which I gave 4 stars, 4.5 stars if I gave half stars. This was fantastic. I had such a good time with it, and I have since ordered volumes 2 and 3, so I'm excited to continue on with this series. And then yesterday I did finish A Good Day to Pie by Misha Pop. I didn't get around to picking anything else up. I am reading another book, but I'm not reading it during my weekly vlogs. I'm reading it for something else. So I did finish this off yesterday, which I ended up giving, it's a very low 4-star rating. I didn't think it deserved 3-star, but it's a very low 4-star rating. This was not as good as the first one, which is Magic Lies and Deadly Pies. In the first one, we follow Daisy actually baking the cakes that are going to kill people, and we follow her kind of like on this mission, if you like, being a vigilante. In this one, however, she finds herself on a baking show, think the Great British Bake Off, very much so along those lines, and it's more to do with the show and the murders that have happened at the show and her trying to figure out what's going on. She's more like Sherlock in this one than she is the actual vigilante, despite the fact that she went into it with plans of killing a person with one of her pies. That person does turn up dead, and she's trying to figure out what's happened and what's gone on. So I didn't enjoy it as much. It was still good, but I think I went into it expecting it to be like Magic Lies and Deadly Pies, but it wasn't. It was a different kind of plot, and had I gone into it kind of understanding that, I know it does say it in the synopsis, to be honest, but I still assumed that there would be more to do with her and her pies and killing people, but there wasn't. There was still magic in here, with her putting magic in some of the pies, trying to get the truth out of people and things like that, trying to figure out what's gone on, but I just didn't find it as entertaining as the first one. I felt that some parts of it were a little bit repetitive because it was the show, and it was basically going day to day with what they were baking and how it went and the show and things like that. It was more to do with that than anything. But I enjoyed it still, so a low 4-star for this one. And that is everything I read during this 2-week reading vlog. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. I do apologise that I didn't manage to get a weekly reading vlog up the week before, but I have included everything in here that I did film. I was obviously not particularly well, and I was struggling just with being ill, to be honest. So yeah, I have included everything in this vlog. I hope that it goes okay, this vlog. I don't know specifically what it looks like yet. I've only edited half of it, so I'm hoping that it winds up okay. And I hope you have enjoyed this video. Chat to me in the comments down below. What have you been reading? Have you read any of these? Do you have any recommendations for me based on them? And I shall see you in the next video. Bye for now.